The Amber Story Quest, Oversimplified. Hey, you know how you saved the city from Storm Terror Dvalin, erstwhile King of the Skies? Yeah, well that was illegal, because you didn't have your gliding license, and Mondstadt has a strict set of rules in place when it comes to gliding, such as don't take off using an Animo slime, and that's about it. You probably shouldn't drink and fly as well. I'm looking at you, everyone's alcoholic best friend. Anyway, upstanding citizen Amber decides that today is the day you become legal, and she decides to give you a Gigantamax book about all the rules of floating in the sky. Which makes me wonder, how many conceivable rules could there be about floating for an extended period of time? Then we get a cutscene about birds who don't know how to be birds yet. And Venti gives them the power of having balls, and they learn how to be birds. It's an inspirational story, with the core message being, just do it! Don't let your wings be wings! Just fly! Even if it does seem suicidal. So after reading this kid story, you are now thoroughly prepared for your first gliding exam. So real quick, Amber mixed up the books and gave you the Birds on Acid book. Nice. But who cares about rules when you have courage? This is a fantasy game, and rules are for NPCs alone. Anyway, the test begins, and we fly through some rings, like we were a really fast blue guy. And 30 seconds later, all those hours of studying, or minutes of reading a children's book have paid off, and our first unique gliding test is now complete. As for the second and third unique test, you go back to the city and fly through more rings. This time in a densely populated area, until stop! You violated the law! Except no, you didn't actually break any laws. In fact, the real breaker of the law is you! Beta Cuck Otto. This man is basically the equivalent of a police officer pulling you over for no apparent reason other than you look suspicious. And then he has the audacity to pull out Section 7, Article 12, and try to arrest us. Like, who let this man in the kitchen? Anyway, before we can do what A did to Signora to this bitch, Amber cuts in, saving Otto's life, and we learn about Raptor. No, not that Raptor, this Raptor. And he's an expert criminal who is wanted for conveniently flying without a license, which, as we know, is only punishable by death. Oh, and he did also rob the Catholic Church, but that's not important. So we decide to put our exam on hold and go chase down an international criminal. The first spot where the malicious heathen was spotted is Springvale, and the artifact that he stole from the church left a smelly smell.
A smelly smell that smells
smelly. So we use our elemental sight to follow his body odor, and it leads us to this merchant who is in the process of getting attacked by some hilly churls. Now I have to interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to say, why in the schlich does everyone getting attacked do this? Like, Farah, use your damn legs to run. Hilly churls are not that fast. If you can move faster than Gary the damn snail, you could probably escape. But yes, as I was saying, Raptor fell out of the sky, which caused the hilly churls to get a little hungry. And your boy Raptor was looking like a tasty snack, but he got away, so they had to settle for sloppy seconds over here. Then, Mr. Limp Biscuit said that he went that-a-way. And as we're going that-a-way, some grown men try to hit us with shovels. But we say no and murder them with several different forms of witchcraft. So after this child-friendly encounter with Raptor's friends, we find his hideout, which is in a rock, like every other hideout in this game. We get into the base, and Amber decides catching a criminal will allow us to pass the gliding exam. So like all gliding exams, we proceed to drop several hundreds of pounds of TNT onto some hilly churls who luckily are looking for the sweet release of death. And after some nice genocide, we find Raptor, who... Hey, wait a sec. Do you guys recognize that voice?
Little girl, why don't you run along home now and let your leader deal with this? Don't worry.
Nice to see that Tartusi is moving up in the world. But gasp! Look how far he is. Unless we were Scaramouche, we'll never make it across. But don't worry, Amber recalls the story of the birds who don't know how to be birds yet. And she becomes mildly suicidal. And even though logic dictates that, nah girl, you're gonna die if you try to cross that ledge, Amber remembers the theme of the bird book, which is just do it. So she does it, and it worked. Because the wind takes care of those who have courage or something like that. We then proceed to give Raptor and his sexy-looking crossbow a spanking and save the day. Afterwards, Amber is like, yeah, I'm not suicidal, I'm just smart. And we're like, oh damn, I didn't know smart was in your character description. Nah, I'm joking, guys. Y'all know I love Amber at this point. And I'm starting to see why Kale sees her as the second coming of Christ. Finally, we go back to the church and Amber gives us our our gliding license, which will never be brought up again. Does the gliding license only exist in Mondstadt? Thanks for watching, guys. I might start to pump these out once a day for all of the character quests. But we're also going to be having a new tier list out tomorrow. So look forward to that. And with that said, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching and have a good one.